Cody, go back. Good! Good dog! That is a good dog!
Hillbilly girl, just as sweet as wine.
Go back. Good. Go back. Go back. Good dog!
Like a muscadine.
Good dog! Very good! Cody, go back. Good dog! Good! Good girl! That's a good girl! Oh, good. Good. Did. Good dog. Good dog. Real fun. Good. This morning, we're going to come off yesterday and the day before even. We had a few little bumps. I talked with Cody's owner is back now. So we talked yesterday on the phone. We're putting together a plan here because we need to really start to really incorporate him as the handler. So we kind of talked about a plan for how we can do that. We'll be doing that over the next couple weeks. She leaves in about 2 weeks for Saskatchewan. So one of the things we're going to do, so I kind of went through this list in my mind, and we had a really good conversation about the progress and then the process as it continues. I made it really clear, and we talked about it going into it. It wasn't like his expectations were unrealistic, but we were very clear that, you know, this last 2 months, month and a half that she's with me doesn't finish her. It doesn't turn her into a finished dog. You got to remember, backing up, we just started hand signals with her 45 days ago, 50 days ago now. So she's come a long way, and then we talked about how the importance right now is becoming confident with him handling her, having her understand him handling her, and making her a functional retriever. That's going to be her goal, is be very functional and be very useful. She's a dog that is going to pick a lot of birds, and a lot of them aren't going to be super complicated. And so we don't handle on every bird. I hope not. But what we're going to do, so I went through like the list in my mind of what are these things that we've run into the last couple days. A couple of them were that's what I call suction, where she was being pulled to me on the 90-degree turn. I brought the mower out yesterday, and I mowed from about that first group of geese to the right, but I didn't mow it tight. I mowed it with the rough cut mower. So it's not real, doesn't stand out super contrasting to the taller grass. But I did that partially for her, and I did it partially because of another puppy that we've got in now, and we're gonna start, I wanna make sure I keep it a little bit shorter for her. But anyway, we're gonna use this freshly mowed area. I'm gonna go back to crisping up these 90-degree turns. Her hunt command. I brought something with today that we're gonna use instead of what we have been. We're gonna use these tennis balls. I've got them marked, they're duck. These have been sitting in duck feathers. So I keep these in the freezer this way. So we're gonna use these in the cover, in pockets of cover, sit down. And we're actually gonna use them also, I'm gonna use them in the open grass amongst the decoys. That was part of her, she had a little bit of a hiccup there, holding an area in the open grass. It's easier for her to hold an area where there's cover because it's real clear and defined. It's when we get into the open area that we need her to hold that area to hunt as well. So we're gonna work with those tennis balls on that. I brought the big goose out, and we're gonna put the big goose into cover today. So kind of a little ambitious, nothing earth-shattering. None of the stuff we're gonna do today is earth-shattering. None of it, I would say, is like new concepts. It's polishing and refining old concepts that she already has a pretty good start on. You'll notice I put the lead on her today. You'll notice her attention is a lot tighter right now. We'll see how that affects this session. I just think that these little fine details, we're gonna start to polish. Instead of taking on new projects in the next week or two, we're gonna polish what we've got. Make sure she's prepared, like I say, to be a functioning retriever, an asset on this hunt. So we'll get started with that. I'm gonna start out right now. We're gonna do our rights and lefts, but to start out, before I do that, I'm gonna kind of prep for the next phase of what I want to do. I've also got a teal here, frozen teal, missing the head. I'm gonna take the teal out and put the teal into this cover. Realistic, right into the brown dirt there. I'm just gonna leave that one. We're gonna use it in a little bit. I brought the starter pistol because I'm gonna incorporate some shots with a few of these. I'm gonna incorporate a shot with the goose. The goose into cover is not, it's more so we've worked on her picking it up in the yard to develop some confidence, but now what I need her to do is be able to pull it through some stuff. Pull it through some thick stuff, get it through this brush, get it through this grass. So if she picks it up, she doesn't get the bird and then turn around and go, oh, this is a lot harder than it was in the grass. So I got to make sure she's going to do that. Those are the reasonings that's the reasoning for that. Now let's set up similar to what we did yesterday. Now I am going to keep her on a lead for the setup of these. And my goal is I want to see her get sharper coming out of that sit 90 degrees wise. So we're gonna work her again. This proved to be a little bit of an issue yesterday. She wanted to be drawn to those decoys. We're not going to hide the dummies today. We're going to leave them kind of open, make it as easy as possible for her. The goal is not going to be hunt command in this session, in this drill. You know what? We're going to be back kind of in a spot where we originated when we did a lot of these things. We're going to use this piece of cover for behind. Might move over just a little bit. I'm gonna use this cover as a distraction, really. We mowed this off. We've mowed this off recently. Never give up an opportunity to get a little bit of this in. Good. Good. Sit. That one's not going to come into play, but it's going to be potentially on her mind. I want to put a few of these in the way. Now, by doing this while she's right there, it's just building time into it. It's just creating a little bit of a little more challenge for her. Not something I would recommend doing early on, you know, but with her, we are trying to add some layers to it. So I put those two in there because I'm actually going to call her and she's got to get past those decoys in order to take the handle. So I'm going to back up just a little bit, Ben. Good. Get out. No, no, here. There's our problem. What's in the back of her mind? That bird. Get out. Good girl. Good girl. There. Very good. Good girl. A lot of gusto this morning. Good girl. Good. A lot of zip. Good. Did. Good girl. Here. Now I'm going to replace that one when I stop her. Get out. Good girl. Good girl. Good dog. Good girl here. Good. See, she catch wind of those birds right there. Good. Good. Doesn't drop. Doesn't switch. Dead. Good dog. Heel. Heel. Now, I shifted over a little bit because I'm going to send her back on this one. And she's going to have to go through that cover to find this one. This one's on the other side of the cover, so she's going to have to punch through it. I'm not going to go right, I'm not going to go left, I'm just going to go straight back with it. Good. Good. Go back. Go back. Heel. Heel. Sit. So again, we've just started seeing this in the last 3 or 4 days. She's just not thinking through things. She hesitated, she thought, I expected her to spin and turn, and she really confidently went to the right for absolutely no reason. So I'm gonna let her think here. And you can see she is kind of thinking, going, God, that probably was a really poor decision. It was. And I'm struggling to get real good eye contact with her. I've noticed too the last couple days. Her head is left and right more than looking at me. She's at her best when she's looking at me. And she just hasn't been. Good. Go back. Go back. Go back. Good. Go back. Go back. No! No. Heel. Heel. Good. Go back. Cody, go back. Go back. Go back. Go back. Cody, go back. Good. Go back. Go back. Go back. Good. No! Here! God damn! Now that just pisses me off. And don't think for a second she doesn't know it. That's it. I'm gonna pick these up. So I'm just gonna pick these up. We're gonna start all over. So I think it's just really clear. She's pretty confused. And I've probably been a little bit shorter with her. And I have to realize my setups just aren't making sense to her. So when we run into it, when you run into things that just aren't making sense, the best way, the only way I think to get back to where you need to be is just reverse engineer it all. You know, I've gotten into this idea of let's start applying stuff. Let's set stuff up and apply it. And if they don't have it, you can't apply it. So if they don't have it, you have to build it. And if you have to build it, you got to form it. So you just got to set it up differently. So let's start over, heel, and watch how real simple this is. How basic it is, how we did it weeks ago, right down to putting her on a lead. So we walked through one little bit of cover, we're gonna do another little bit of cover. Come back through it. Sit. Go back. Go back. Good. Right here. Good. Now, didn't do it the way I wanted to. Not perfect. Did. Heel. Heel. Not perfect at all. Ran around the cover. That's okay. We found some success. Heel. You know, I'm asking her to go back, and her stickiness is going back. And I talk about a lot how back fades away. And it does. And maybe this is my issue. I mean, we haven't done a lot of back work. Sit down. Sit down. Good. Cody. Good girl. Go back. Good girl. Good dog. Good girl. Good. Good girl. Did. Enough. Heel. Good. Heel. 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 Go back. Good girl. Good girl. Good. 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 Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Here. Here. Now she's real deflated. Probably I am too. So I'm just sitting there back there watching her and trying to get her to figure it out. Trying to let her figure it out. I'm really trying. I don't want to handle her to that dummy. It wouldn't make sense. She's just going to become super dependent on me. So I'm sitting back there thinking and going, man, what the hell happened here? Wheels really came off. And if I could do it differently, I'd go, well, this drill, maybe I should have used a big white dummy just so she could see it. The problem right now is it's very basic stuff that she's just tripping over. So I'm gonna wait just a second here. Heel. Heel. Cody, go back. Go back. Go back. No! So that time, Ben can't, no! Ben can't see it because he's only got one camera here. But I stopped her on the whistle and she just went to hunt on her own. She's become super just independent on her own to go, I'll just do it. And every decision she's making is wrong. So we're gonna just really regroup. So let's walk up there to her. You come with. Because I got to figure out how far away is she from it. Now, we're not doing any favors for her having these birds sitting here. You know, one thing she is doing is she continues to go back to cover to hunt, which is something I've trained her to do. Good. Cody. She just ran over the top of it. Sit. Sit. Sit down. No, go back. Good. Oh my gosh. What is that, huh? What is that? Right here, right here, right here. Good. Dead. Sit. Sit. Good. 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 Now, to be just 100% honest with you, this session has gone nowhere where we wanted it to so far. Everything we've done, even the simple stuff, has become an issue. So, you know, I don't know exactly why. I'm not gonna freak out about it though. I'm just gonna regroup. We're gonna be done in here. I'm gonna leave this area. I'm gonna go pick that sit. I'm gonna go pick that duck up. I don't even want to try something new here. We're just on a huge struggle bus. So I'm gonna pick that duck up. We are gonna get something out of today. I think it's probably a good example of when I try to throw too many things into the soup at once. You know, we're just we were on a real nice pace and I didn't feel any pressure to do anything, and things went good. And then all of a sudden we're getting into, man, next weekend goose hunting opens. Dove season opens on Sunday. All these things, and I'm going, we gotta do this, we gotta do this, we gotta do this, we gotta do this. And maybe, maybe we're just not there yet. So I have to slow things down regardless of the calendar. We gotta get her just taking one step at a time instead of trying to have her jump and take 10 steps at a time. So what I am going to do, I want to get something out of this. And I don't consider it, I don't write it off as a complete loss by any means. It's just, we're going to get something different out of it. So let's bring her with. Ben, you come with me. Heel. We're going to get to the idea of picking this thing up out of cover. This has nothing to do with anything handling. And the other thing is in my mind, if she were my dog, what I would do with her if she was my dog is I would probably take 3 or 4 or 5 days off of this. I wouldn't do any of this stuff. And just take a little while, take a break from it, let her recharge a little bit. I wouldn't not do anything. I'd still do stuff with her. But I'd do stuff like this. I'd do something with maybe long lines. I'd just do something different. We'll see. And you know what the answer is really probably going to be? The beauty of it is when her owner comes, starting tomorrow, I think is when we're going to do it. Maybe even this evening. But when her owner comes, I told him, I said, we're not going to do anything new with her. And quite honestly, I don't think she needs anything new right now to be a nice little gun dog for this coming month. She'll operate probably really well in the field. So one of the things that I told him was we're not going to challenge, we're never going to pair her up with something new with him, because he just needs to get the feel for handling her in general. So what we're going to do is with him, we're going to spend all of our time doing very simple things. And now that I'm thinking about it, I'm going, that's probably the answer. Instead of taking a break, we're going to oversimplify things for the dog to bridge the gap of the new handler, having a new handler in there. So we're going to take steps way back in complexity, because we've got a new part that we're plugging in. It has nothing to do with the dog, it has to do with the handler. That probably will be the best thing for her, going back and tuning up a little bit. Just sharpening is what it needs. And probably maybe a little bit of a break on her brain. She's just acting, you just can see it in her right now. It's probably a little bit of an overload. So what? I mean, that is why that's why we're filming this, to show you, because I think I've got a guy right now that's sending me videos of his dog. He is banging, literally, he said, I'm banging my head against the wall because I can't get my dog to sit to the whistle. And so he is just, and you can tell he is just forcing the hell out of it. I saw a bunch of videos from him and they didn't look that bad. He sent me a bunch of videos last night. I didn't think they looked that bad, so I haven't responded yet, but I'm going to tell him to stop. He's just forcing stuff. And so I have to take my own advice and sometimes stop doing it. Quit forcing it. Let it happen when it's ready to happen. It's what we're running into. We've had this happen with her already. We've run into this already, and it worked out pretty well where we would send her home. She'd go home for 3, 4, 5 days, come back pretty recharged, and we'd really move forward. So she's been he has been gone for over 2 weeks straight, her owner. So she's been with me for 2 weeks straight, and we've been constantly just putting stuff on her. And so, you know what? She's maybe mentally at that point where she goes, I need a couple days to not take on new stuff. That happens. And I have to recognize that. And maybe I haven't. Maybe I have overlooked that. I probably have. Heel. So this is something we can get out of this even without running into. Here, 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 Cody. Cody. Go back. Here, 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 here. Cody. Good. 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 Go on. Find it. Find it. I'm going to use find it with her instead of lost because I need to get her excited instead of a little bit slower. Good. Good. Find it. Find it. Find it's what I use with the puppies. Find it. Find it. Find it. Fun game. Find it. I use lost. Lost. To kind of calm them down, to slow them down. She doesn't need that right now. She needs a little pick-me-up. Find it. 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 Oh, what have you got? What have you got? Good girl. Good girl. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. It's a much different thing in the cover. Very good. Come on. Hold. Hold. Good girl. What have you got there? Did. 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 Good girl. So that was real nice. Again, let's do that again. That was just a fun. I mean, you see the tempo bend in her? The pace in her tail? So now we go into some cover with it. Again, I think this can be just a little bit of a break from all this handling pressure that we're putting on her. And let's just figure out how to build her muscles and confidence. Pick up a giant goose and bring it out. And birds get her excited. She's a birdie dog. So just the pace that she had there, hunting in here right now, and can you see her face right now? She looks like she's on point. I mean, her tail is real rigid. Her ears are locked. Like, this is the focus that I like. This is learning. This is a learning attitude where before, ears back, looking away from me, really having a hard time looking me in the eye. So the more I'm talking about it and thinking about it, I'm going, you know what? I'm probably putting way too much stuff on her. Let's just let her be a dog for a little bit. Not mean free for all. Let's let her be a dog and learn something. This is how they learn stuff. Good state of mind. Look at how excited she is right now. Are you ready? Are you ready? All right, let's go. So this time I'm gonna let her, she knows where it is, I'm gonna let her muscle it out of there without a ton of encouragement. Good girl. Good girl. Come on. Good girl. She's figuring it out. That's a good dog. Come on. Come on. Come on. Good girl. There. Good girl. Come on. Come on. Get it through there. That's a good dog. Come on. Come on. Hold. Hold. Good girl. Did. Good girl. Good little girl. Very nice. Let's do it one more time. Good girl. Good girl. This one's through the little tree line into that little field. Just gonna have to pick it up in that field and bring it across that tree line. Real loose. I'm not real formal with it. This is gaining something. Come on. This is, before we weren't. And I'm embarrassed about it myself because I'm going, how do you not recognize it? How do you not realize you're just getting frustrated, you're just getting pissed off? She just downward spiraling, getting worse. I mean, it's not that she doesn't know how to do it. It's that we're just in a bad state, mentally and probably physically a little bit too. Cody. It's just turning into a little trailing memory. But the excitement of picking up that great big goose. Good girl. Come on. Good girl. Come on. Good dog. Come on. Hold. Good girl. Good dog. Good dog. Let's call it a day. Good dog. Good dog. So that's how we want to end it. I mean, it would have been real easy to just kind of go, let's put her up. And she wouldn't have been better for it. I wouldn't have been better off for it. Good girl. Got a little something out of it. Got a little more life into her. So we're just going to take a deep breath with it. I think having her owner now get involved is just, it's going to be the best thing we can do, because we're going to simplify things. We're going to make sure that it's successful for her. Adding him in as a new element is going to be a change, so it'll be a challenge for her and him. But I do think too that once they find a little bit of success with it, that could be too the momentum she needs. Feeling that excitement, that energy level come from him, because it's fun to handle them when they respond well, and she will for him, and then they both will kind of ramp up together. I just don't know that it's real smart on my part to try to add much to her right now. I think she's, and like I said, I feel really comfortable with her going into the field in a week. Next week we're gonna shoot over her. So I feel really good about the idea of putting her on some birds and letting us use that stuff we've worked on the last 50 days or whatever it was. And is she done? No, not at all. But she's prepared, I think, to go into a little bit of a shooting season right now. Good deal. But something we'll continue to work on. I'm going to continue to work my dogs throughout the season as well. But I feel like my dogs are pretty prepared to start shooting over. And if they aren't, and if things come up that we go, wow, we've got holes here, here, and here, we'll fix those. We'll work on those, and then we'll go back to applying it. It's just, now that it's the season is going to be opening, it's time to use that opportunity to put what we've worked on to use. Good. I'm not mad at you anymore. Wasn't mad at you that bad, but I was a little bit, my blood pressure got going a little bit. Heel.